Your marks will be good draft uphill. You are P6 on the lap time chart. Good job.
That pace. That pace. The green flag. Go, 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 go. You'll need another tenth, you. You'll need another tenth of a second. Let's go.
And there's this huge rush of euphoria, you know, at doing this sort of thing. Maybe that's crazy. A lot of people say it is, but that is a feeling that you get from it. You know, pushing that limit and just seeing how well you can execute it, knowing that the consequences can be severe.
Good job. Good job. Good job at the draft. Doing great.
Melissa, Melody, and many more.
Welcome to picturesque Virginia International Raceway, a challenging 3.2-mile ribbon of asphalt that produces great racing action. So let's get started.
All right, ready? All right. Hello, we're at VIR International Raceway at Danville, Virginia for our first race of the 2017 Formula Race promotion. You didn't like that either.
I've been racing since I was 5.
So I started with go-kart racing when I was about 4 years old.
I was in karting and I was winning when I was young, and we were able to stick with it for a hell of a lot longer than a lot of my competitors, and we were successful at doing it.
So the F1600 Series is the first race car that a young driver, boy or girl, will be getting into once they've established themselves in go-karting. The F1600 car itself has no wings on it. If you notice it, it doesn't have wings on the front or the back. It's all about mechanical grip. And it's the first time that a racer is introduced to suspension and a chassis out on a track with a 4-speed gearbox and good amount of horsepower. And they're very competitive. I think our last race here, last year in Virginia, we had the 3 races were just about all photo finishes. You'll see that they draft a lot together. And it teaches racecraft, it teaches mechanical grip, and basic fundamentals of racing. It's a great starting point for anyone who wants to get into racing.
You really have to drive with your feet, so it really teaches you the basics and really makes you drive the car more or less with not having downforce.
Well, the big thing in 1600 is knowing how to use the draft. You have to know how far you have to be behind and really hold everything till the last lap. You don't want to be in the front down the back straightaway in the last lap because you're just going to get passed and there's nothing you can do about it. Everything is slowed down compared to the go-kart. There's a lot more time in between corners, except you also have to think about a lot more. There are a lot more things between shifting, drafting, passing, corners, braking, accelerating, blipping. Everything that you have to think about when you're driving is a lot more.
You have to hit your marks every lap. You have to get your foot off the brake pedal. Okay, one thing we train our drivers more than anything is we got to get their foot off the brake pedal. Get your foot off the brake pedal. Get your foot off the brake pedal. So you have to, your turn-in points, you're going through the turn points, everything has to be absolutely perfect.
Racing has become a lifestyle for me. I pretty much give anything for it except for my family. It's truly what brings out the best in me. Can bring out the worst, but usually brings out the best, and I'm truly happy in it.
This is my first race ever in a Formula 1600 car. I have never raced before in any car, so I've coming straight out of go-karts, and this will be my first race, so I'm very excited. No, I do not have my driver's license yet. I do not have my driver's license.
I just got mine a couple months ago.
Winning this weekend would be an extraordinary accomplishment. We don't expect to win, but I'm going to try my best. It would be awesome. I hope we do win. I'm just hoping to stay about where I was in practice. I was second, I think pretty close to first, so I'm just hoping to stay around there. The Pelfrey cars are going to get a lot faster for the rest of the weekend, so I'm hoping I can manage to keep up with them, keep up with the rest of the Cahill guys, especially Zach, who has been a half second faster than me in practice.
If I could stay in the top 5, that would be perfectly fine for me. I would really, really like a podium. I've been striving for one for 2 years now, and I'm hungry for it and I need it.
A little bit nervous, but we'll get through it.
Being low budget, you have a lot more of those oh crap moments, and You don't get the track time that these other guys do to be able to work out those moments. So you're very on the clock with what you do, and you have to try that extra step harder to be able to keep up with them. Fortunately, it's starting to work out for me. They always say racing is 95% disappointment and 5% elation. I'm in the elation. I'm very happy with qualifying. To be honest, this track has been a bad mark on my list for years. I've hardly been able to finish any of the races and never qualified well. And this was incredible to be able to finally be in the top 5 and being so close to the leaders. With my old setup, we'd always find a mechanical that would slow us down. But now we're on top of it and we're making the best out of it. And it's been starting to work out for my teammates and everything. And they've been great. Sam, Dexter, Chris.
Do not worry about lap time. Don't worry about drafting. We all know you know how to do that, so it's really not the purpose of the warm-up.
Love you, Daddy.
I love you too, buddy. You're the best.
No.
I know I can race with these guys. I don't show a whole lot of aggression in qualifying and in practice. So in the race, I take my gloves off and I'm all after them.
The 1600 category is such a proven training ground, not just in North America but worldwide. You look at Indy 500 winners, you look at Formula One world champions from the past 20, 30 years. 9 times out of 10, they've performed at this level. This has been the first level they've competed at. This is some of the best racing you'll see. Wheel-to-wheel action, multiple passing. I mean, we saw races last year that were decided by thousandths of a second. I just love it. This is the most pure form of racing to me that exists in open wheel racing.
Welcome to Formula 1600. Cars already on their formation lap, so let's meet the starting lineup. Pole position, 14 years old, out of Guilderland, New York. This is Yuven Sundaramurthy in car number 13, alongside another graduate of the karting ranks, number 82, David Osborne, in the Capcard Team Pelfrey entry. Englishman Matthew Cowley, car number 80, will start third. Cowley actually the fastest car in qualifying, but had a 2-position penalty assigned to him, so Cowley will start from third position. Fourth goes to the 23 of Lance Fenderson. Ryan Bjerke in the number 12 starts in 5th position. Sixth will go to the 81 of Jonathan Kotick. Zach Holden in the 96 starts from 7th. 14 laps against a 30-minute time limit on the full 3.27-mile circuit here at Virginia International Raceway. A couple of prime passing zones will be the long back straight as well as the start-finish straightaway. Drafting, or slipstreaming as the road racing folks call it, a prime factor for these F1600 cars. To show you how competitive this field is, we ran 6 races in the F1600 Series here at VIR last year. 4 of them were decided by multi-car photo finishes. So we are ready for some great racing action. Field circulating behind the pace car now. As the saying goes, you can't win the race in the first turn, but you can certainly lose it. So with a pair of rookies up front, anything can happen here as we get ready for the start of our F1600 Championship event. Good 2x2 lineup as they head towards the starter's stand and the start-finish line. Starter Phil Jereminski with the green flag at the ready. A couple of cars popping out of line to get a good look at the starter's stand. Green flag is out, field on its way towards turn number 1. Yuven Juven Sundaramurthy from the pole position, but a couple of cars ducking down to the inside, and as they go into turn number 1, it is the 23 car of Lance Fenderson from row number 2 with the lead. Cars now headed towards NASCAR, the second complex of corners here. Fenderson with the lead, Sundaramurthy second, just like the 80 of Matthew Cowley in third. Things the drivers have to be especially aware of is that we have had very wet weather here. So if you get a wheel off course and onto the grass, there is no grip to be found. So the driver's very aware of the fact that they need to keep the car on the pavement. No curb hopping or shortcutting here in F1600 competition on this day. Fenderson still with the lead as they head towards Oak Tree for the first time. It is the 81 in second, Jonathan Cotting. Sundaramurthy right behind him. The car is now down in the hog pen, and Juven Sundaramurthy gets turned around. Back wheels off in the grass. Let's see if he can find any grip to get back on the racetrack, but a tough break for the number 13 car. Juven Sundaramurthy started from the number 1 spot, but spun in the final turn. And he is stuck there, not able to get going again. Back end just stepped out. The car came all the way around, up over the curb, and once he was over the curb and onto the grass, hard to find any traction. Change in the lead. It is now the 81 with the lead. That is Jonathan Cotting, who came from 6th in the starting field. He moves into the number 1 spot. Lance Fenderson to the 23 second. Fenderson locked in the battle, Cotting in the yellow car. Black 23 is Lance Fenderson as they head down towards turn number 1. Problems for Ryan Bjerke there in the number 12. It looks as though Bjerke's had a mechanical problem, so one of our leading contenders, Bjerke running in the top 5 out of the race as the leaders will head towards the back part of the circuit. Bjerke pulling off at NASCAR bend. Tough break for the driver of the number 12. Climbing the snake now, it's Cotting in the yellow car, the white 96, Zach Holden. The black 23 is Lance Fenderson. That's racing room as they come up through the snake. The next chance they'll have will be at South Bend, right before the climb up to Oak Tree. And here they are at Oak Tree. Cotting slipped wide here earlier, but this time he holds a tighter line, and he'll have the lead as they head down the backstretch. Holden in the white car and Fenderson in the black car, though, are going to gang up on him as they head towards the roller coaster. Holden going to go to the high side. He will be outside of Cotting and take the lead as they head down the roller coaster and into Hog Pen for the final time. Zach Holden with the lead as they head from the roller coaster down towards Hog Pen, the final turn here at VIR. The white car is Holden, the yellow car Cotting. Right in the picture as well, Lance Fenderson. There's Cotting out of the slipstream. 3 wide as they head to the line. This one's going to be too close to call. Cotting and Fenderson trying to find a way around, but the win goes to Jonathan Cotting. Second will go to Zach Holden. Third to Lance Fenderson. Fourth to Joe Colasacco, Matthew Cowley, and David Osborne round out the top 6. Welcome to the Winner's Circle Report for the opening round of the F1600 Championship here at Virginia International Raceway. Drivers just climbing out of their cars. Finishing in third was Lance Fenderson, driver of car number 23. Lance, you had a couple of good looks at the lead, a great race out there.
Yeah, it was a great race. Right from the start, I got out to the lead, which was very exciting for the first lap, and then me and Kotick just broke away, and Zach ended up catching up, and it made for a good last couple laps.
Congratulations on a third place finish.
Thank you. I met my goals. I mean, I did not expect to be anywhere near the top 3. To be in the breakaway and leading in my first race is a great accomplishment, so I'm very excited for that, and I definitely met my goals.
Zach, you looked like you had the slipstream all figured out, but Jonathan Kotick just a little bit too much here in race number 1.
Yeah, I checked them up for the last turn, and I thought I had it, but I short shifted because I was too busy looking at my mirrors, and yeah, but it was an amazing finish, super close.
The driver of car number 81, this is Jonathan Kotick. Congratulations, first win in the series and first win of the season.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it's a really great feeling. It's actually my first car race, just moved up from kart, so can't thank GapGuard and Team Pelfrey enough for giving me this opportunity.
We had a shift linkage break, unfortunately, and it is what it is, and stuff happens. We'll be back out there. With a good lap time right before it happened, we'll be starting 5th, and I think we can give them another run for their money. We were right there with them this past time, so we'll give them it.
We have a large responsibility of taking young career-oriented drivers and making them into, professional race car drivers that get paid to race cars.
We thrive on a positive working environment and drivers who are engaged and want to learn.
We set up a specialty workout program for every driver. Okay, they have to be training. They have to be strong. They have to be strong-willed and they have to be physically strong. So, it's hard here, especially under these temps. We push these kids very hard, but we want them to excel.
If they work and thrive in this environment, it's pretty much a given that we know they're going to be able to perform at the next levels up as well. The cars are simple, it's all about driver development, and you can see how much the drivers learn from, what are we, in late April now, and we compare them with when we're in October, and the amount of development and improvement we'll have seen from all of them will be staggering, and that's, the further they go up in their career, the less and less the development curves off, but it's so steep at this level, and that to me is the most rewarding side of it as well, when you can see drivers develop because of the work we're trying to do with them, and obviously we're a stepping stone for them. We want them to be as well prepared for the next level as possible.
Had I had that opportunity at that age, oh my gosh, I think it's great at that age to have that opportunity and to have the backing of their parents, and and it's a lot about funding. That's the big issue. There's a lot of talent here, big disparity of funding, and that's really what it takes to get to the level. If you don't have that, you can be the best out there, and it's just tough.
Most of the kids here anyway, they love it because it's pretty much everybody's dream to get in a real race car on a real race series, and you can go that fast. Especially for these kids at 15-year-old, I can only imagine what it is, because I'm 39 and I still have that. Oh my God, it is something, so.
It's always been my dream to drive at the Brickyard, and I've always wanted to race an Indy car. Understanding that finances are where they are, I'm looking to pursue a career in sports cars. I've always admired the guys who race in them, Ricky Taylor, Jordan Taylor. I've met them. They've been my idols, just as big as Juan Pablo Montoya in Indy.
My goal since I was a kid was to race in F1, but we'll see how far I can go and how well I can do, and hopefully I get there.
To do F1, but obviously F1 takes a lot of sponsors, a lot of everything to make it all the way up there, but definitely IndyCar, that is easier than making it to F1, but definitely F1 is the one I want to do.
Yes, I get a lot of respect for those kids, and hopefully they do good.
Second race of the weekend for the F1600 cars forming up behind the pace car. White 96 is Zach Holden. He'll share the front row with the black 23 of Lance Fenderson. Row number 2, Matthew Cowley in the yellow number 80 from Team Pelfrey. Also in the Team Pelfrey car, Jonathan Kotick. Row number 3, Ryan Bjerke in the 12 and Juven Sudanborthy in the 13 as the field comes up out of the final corner. Good looking formation from this impressive field of F1600 cars as they head towards the line. Starter Phil Jaraminski looking them over carefully. Nobody jumping out of line, waiting for the green flag. Drivers pick up the throttle and we're racing in F1600 action here at VIR. Down towards turn number 1, they're going to go 3 wide. Jonathan Kotick all the way down to the low side of the racetrack. They'll take the lead as they go through the first turn. They get the white flag from starter Phil Jereminski. 1 lap to go. It's about to be decided here in the F1600 Championship. Kotick will hold the low line down into turn number 1. Holden trying that high side again, right up on the edge of the pavement, but forced to fall back in line. Ryan Bjerke in the red number 12. Bjerke off at NASCAR Bend, so Bjerke out of the picture now. So we're about to decide the winner here in round 2 of the F1600 Championship. Still Jonathan Kotick through Oak Tree, beginning the acceleration run down the backstretch. Let's see if anybody can use the slipstream to their advantage here. Fenderson pulls out of line to have a look. Kotick still with the lead. Holden second, Fenderson third, Cowley fourth. Now Fenderson looks to the inside. Some lap traffic up ahead. Holden again trying to make a move. Will try to get alongside Kotick, but Kotick with the best line as they come to the entry to the roller coaster. Downhill for the final time, headed towards Hogpen. Jonathan Kotick is your leader. Zach Holden second, Matthew Cowley third. 7 cars all looking for racing room as they come to the final turn. Oh, Jonathan Kotick tangles with a slower car. He's nearly up and over. And he'll take David Osborne off the track with him. Chaos at the finish here at Virginia International Raceway. Who can keep the momentum to get across the finish line? Zach Holden, 96 will prevail. Matthew Cowley second. It looked like Lance Fenderson third. Yuven Sundaramurthy fourth. Joe Colasaco coming home in fifth. And a chaotic finish here at Virginia International Raceway. The good news is all of the drivers are unhurt. Cars not so fortunate. Lots of damage out there. Crews will really have their work cut out for them here. They don't have much time to get the cars ready for the weekend finale. They've only got one chance to get it right.
I'll go into the race later afternoon, just make sure the car's back together, just make sure I'm just mentally prepared and just ready to go. Have lunch, stay calm, listen to some music, so that's probably what I'll do, and then just look forward to the next one. So I think I'm probably going to start a little bit farther in the back. I know being up front with the draft and everything, I didn't really get much of a tow to put in a good lap, but as you can see with the racing here, it's not that important. Just make sure you just work your way up towards the front, towards the end. So that's what I'll probably just make sure to do, just position myself well like I did in the last 2 races, and then just go for the win again.
Flag is out. Final F1600 race of the weekend on its way towards turn number 1. David Osborne down on the low side of the racetrack. Right behind him is Joe Colasaco. So the order out of turn number 1 will be Osborne, Zach Holden in the 96, Colasaco in the 3. And he slips wide, and that's going to open the door for Jonathan Kotick to come through. Let's see if that was Kotick or Matthew Cowley. That was Matthew Cowley. So as they head up towards Oak Tree Corner, it will be Team Pelfrey cars first and third. flag is the signal to the drivers. 1 lap to go, 3.2 miles, just about 2 minutes to decide the winner here in F1600 action. Down into turn number 1, it's still Jonathan Kotick with the lead over a tight pack as they go through the first turn. A tangle down there between a couple of cars. Lance Fenderson at 23, 82 of David Osborne, both spinning off. Race leaders, meanwhile, are through NASCAR Bend, now beginning to climb up through the switchback section of the racetrack. It is Kotick, Cowley, Holden, then a gap back to Juven Sundaramurthy and Joe Colasacco. Race leaders through South Bend, now through Oak Tree for the final time. Jonathan Kotick hanging on to the lead. This is where slipstreaming comes into play. Let's see who the first car is to jump out of line. It's Matthew Cowley. Cowley alongside of his teammate Kotick. They begin the long run down the backstretch. Zach Holden right there as well. Now Holden's going to make his move to make it 3 wide. Headed towards the roller coaster. Something's got to give here as they go 3 across, and it is Zach Holden still down on the low side of the racetrack. Kotick will hang on to the lead. Holden now through to second as they go down through the roller coaster. Cowley third, Sundaramurthy and Colasacco both closing in as they come to the final turns on the racetrack. Down into Hogpen for the final time. It is Jonathan Kotick, Zach Holden, Matthew Cowley up over the rise. Looks like a 3-car shootout for the finish here. Still Kotick with the lead, but now Holden pulls out of the slipstream. He'll try to power by as they come to the flag. And the win to Zach Holden. Second win of the weekend for number 96. Jonathan Kotick second, Matthew Cowley third, Juven Sundaramurthy fourth. Joe Colasacco rounds out the top 5. That wraps it up for a great weekend of F1600 racing action here at Virginia International Raceway.